In this video, I will show you step by step how to build this task list in Excel. This dashboard will let you track your tasks and show you clearly, based on their due date, when tasks are due today and when they are late. A red clock will show for late tasks and the blue one for tasks due today. You have totals at the top and you will have the top 3 tasks due today appearing here on the top left part of the dashboard. Welcome to this tutorial. So as usual, we start with a grid. And I've just pre-filled the grid here. At the top, I want to put task due today and amount of work left. So this is something that I'll be working on, but I just select 3 rows, so it'll be the top 3 only for today, but you can have as many as you like. And the second is just the task list here. So going through the columns one by one, the first one, it will be where you would put the task 1, let's say. The second one would be the priority. Best practice would ask you to create a new tab and to have the list here, low, medium, high, and then you would just validate going under data validation, and you would select a list, and you would click on source, and you would go to your tab that you created, and you select those 3. And you press OK, and now you can just select from that list. But before you do, let's drag all this down to make sure that the validation is applied to all the column. And now I can just select priority here. The estimate would be the estimate in days. Let's assume that. Percentage complete would be very simple, just how much of the task has been done. The due date, this will be a due date. Hard to explain. So done, say the amount of work that has been done. So the last 3 cells here will be calculated. So when you know the estimate and you know the completion, you just have to multiply one by the other. So actually, I'm just going to put 20% here, so we can differentiate with left to do. Left to do is what was due less what has been done. So obviously, all this is theoretical. And the status, so this is where we will be putting our clocks, our reminders here. Okay, so this is for the overall look and feel. So what I want to do as well is I want to put the clocks here. So what I'll do is I'll merge 4 cells at once. Merge those 4, and I will merge those 4 here. And then just put a circle, a grid around this one, a grid around this one. And here maybe I will merge those 2 only and put a border. So this is where we will have our tasks due today, and this I didn't merge them actually, late tasks. Okay, now the next step is I want to change the overall background. So this is very personal. You can leave all white if you like, but I'm just going to right click on normal, click on modify. Once I'm here, I'm just going to click on format. I'm going to go under fill, and I'm using the standard Microsoft palette here, and I'm going to go on the third from the bottom here. I'm going to take this orangey color. I'm going to go under more colors, and I'm going to drag that up. It's a personal preference, obviously, but I don't mind this light yellow, if you want to call it this way. Now, when this is done, what you want to do to differentiate, you want to put everything white here, white, and I'm just going to put everything white to start with. Nothing prevents us from changing. So here at the top here, I'm going to have a darker, I'm just going to use the deep blue here, and obviously I need to put the font in white. I'm just going to click on one of those. I'm going to use the format painter to format those 2 here. So this is it. So we have the overall look and feel of the task list. Okay, next we'll be putting some clocks here. So before we do this, I just want to put something here. I will be removing it, but it's just so that we know what we're dealing with. I'm just going to put the today function here, so that gives us a date here. So I want to do everything based on that date, so I'll just keep it here for the time being. So here we want to put some clocks. If the task, is late or due today, I want to put some clocks here, and then I will be doing some conditional formatting to give it some colors. So in order to draw a clock, I'm using and actually I renamed that tab settings here. I'm using the 𝑢nitchar function in Excel. So if you don't know what 𝑢nitchar is, you need to Google it, I think, because it gives you plenty of different symbols based on the number that you feed to it. So for instance, number 9200 will give you a clock. 𝑢nitchar of that number here will give you a clock. So if you put another number, you'll have another symbol. So once you have created this clock here, you just name it clock. So it'll be easier to remember. I've named it clock, very interesting name. So I'm going back to here, and actually here I'm just going to call that dashboard. Dashboard. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to show a clock when a task is not complete. That's important. You don't want to put a status on task that is completed. This is not relevant anymore. If it's completed, it cannot be late. Thank you, Ben. We're learning so much from you. So if, and here I'm going to use the AND. So I'm just going to check this is not completed. So not equal to 1, which is 100%. And the second condition is the due date is smaller or equal to, and I'm just going to put this today's date here, and I'm going to press F4 to make sure that it stays constant. And this is it for the end. And what do I want to do? I want to put a clock. So I just put clock here. That's the name I gave it. And if none of this condition is met, I will put a blank. Okay, so here, just put that. Drag that down, and let's see if it works. So what do we have? 11th of July here, using the day month format, of course. If you're Americans, this is 7th of November for you. Okay, so status 3rd of June here, before that works. Here 11th of July, which is today. One is 100%, so it didn't show it, and the other one is 10%, so it showed it. Okay, so what do we want to do now? We want to give a red for late task and a blue for today, if it's due today. So I'm just going to select all this, and I'm going to do a conditional formatting, and I'm going to go under new rule, and I'm going to use a formula because I want to refer to a cell that is different on a different column. So I'm going to put this here. So what do I want to check? I want to check the due date here, due date here. I'm just going to remove everything, but I'm just going to keep the dollar value here. And actually, where do I take this one? I need to take this one above. Okay, so this, if it's equal to this cell here, and this time I'm not going to leave the dollar all over the place. I'm going to format it, and I'm going to give it a blue font, not a fill, a font. So I'm just going to give it this blue here, the light blue as I'll call it. Could change later on if I don't like it. So let's see, due today, not completed, it's blue, so it works. Next, I'm going to go under conditional formatting. I'm going to manage the rules this time. I'm going to click on the rule, and I'm going to duplicate it because this way the work will be done. So what I want to do is I want to put strictly smaller than this, and I'm going to go under format, and I'm going to select this red. And once I've selected the red, I'm going back under more colors because I want something a bit more subtle. And I'm going to select a subtle red. Okay, this one, for instance. Press OK. So if you have a Mac, I think that will look different, but you get the idea. Let's see. I mean, what I could have done is I could have just put everything red by default. But that's what I do. I work hard. So 50%. If I put that 50%, it's gone. It's done. All right. So now we could do another type of formatting now, because we have the 100% here. I'm going to select everything, and I want to put the completed task in a different shade. So this is going to be a very personal choice. So I'm going to create a new rule, and I'm going to use a formula as usual. And the formula values that I'm going to use is I'm going to check the percentage complete here. So percentage complete here, and I'm going to lock the edge here. In my case, I want to log the column, so I'm going to click on F4 until I have the $H, and the row, obviously the row needs to keep running. So if it's equal to 1, I want to give a different fill color. Okay, very personal choice. I've opted for this color here, orangey. And let's see if it works. So put this one 100%. Okay. So I don't know what you think about the colors. Another option that we have also is maybe also put the task itself in red. If a task is late, but for the time being, I'm just going to leave it this way. So what I'm going to select everything, I'm going to take check if I can make it bigger without increasing the row size. All right. That we'll have to do for the time being. So now we need to do some calculation to provide a chart in the middle and also to put the amount of tasks that are due today and the one that are late here. So I'm just going to go back into my settings tab, and I've created I've already prepared. You don't realize all the preparation work I have to do for this. So task late, task due today, task completed, task on track, and total tasks. So before I go into the calculations, I'm going back to my dashboard because I want to name columns. And actually, this is one of the tips I think I give in my 30 tricks to build dashboards. I recommend you have a look at it because some of the things I go fast here because I know they are on this tricks video. So I'm just selecting the whole column here, and I'm putting the completion, and I press enter twice, and that has named now this due date. I'm just going to put due date, press enter twice. And here I'm going to call that task name. So that's the task, just task. Let's be lazy, just to verify that we have something here. So settings, going back to my settings now, I need to do massive countifs here because I need several conditions. As for here, I need to check that there is a task first. I need to check if the tasks is late, which means is the due date was before today and is still not completed. So that's 3 conditions. Okay, so I progressed a little bit here. So just didn't want to type and explain at the same time. So I've done it all for you. I can just walk you through the formula. So first thing I've done is I've put the today formula here. So I don't have to go to the other tab. But you'll see all this is quite straightforward now that we have named those columns. So task late, how do we calculate the number of task late? So we use the countifs. So if you don't have countifs, you need to use the and. You need to go back here and use the and count the way I've done it here. But it's still possible, but with countifs, it's a little bit easier. So countifs, so there's 3 conditions. First, I need to check that the task, so remember we've named this column task, so task is here. And we need to check that it's not blank, so not blank, that's all you need to do, to put this symbol here, between brackets, between this. So the due date has to be strictly smaller, so remember this is the due date column that we have, it'll be smaller than the today's date here. This is the second condition. And the third condition is that the completion is not equal to 1. So the task is not completed. So the tasks that are late is here as 5. And we can go and double check how many red clocks do I have? 5. Perfect. Today, it's exactly the same with one condition, is that the due date is equal to the date here, today's date. Completed, that's a little bit easier. I need to check that there is a task and the completion is equal to 1, which is 100%. Task on track, this is the task is, well, there is a task, the due date is greater than today, and the completion is not equal to 1. And then you can add all this just by a basic sum, and I give you this number here. I like to double check things, so what I've done here is I've done a count A. So if you don't know what a count A is, it just counts all the cells that are not blank. So here at 17, and I should have 17 cells here. Yes, 17. Okay, so now we have this. We can do a very basic chart. So let me just select this. I'm just going to go under Insert, and I'm going to take a donut here. Click on the series. This is what I was looking for, format data series. And I changed the whole size here, so just usually around 50%, a bit fatter. So now what I want to do is I want to have the tasks that are late. I want to put them the red that we had before, the red of shame. Hopefully it's still here. Yes, it's here. So the tasks that are due today, I've decided to go with blue. Blue's already taken, but we'll have to replace it. I'm going to take the same blue here. What else? Tasks that are completed. We've opted for the light color like this, and the one that are in progress. It's we don't have a predefined color for one in progress, but I think this is clear now. We know. Let me just copy that on the next. We know that red is for late, blue for today, this is completed, and this is the rest. So that therefore that is quite self-evident. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right-click and I'm going to add data labels on this. So I always put things a little bit smaller when I do this. Put that here. I'm just going to remove the title. I click on this and I want to put them a bit bigger. Okay, I could also add the things, the description here, but we'll look about the finer details a bit later on. Shape fill, I want a no fill here, and I want to remove the outline, no outline. Okay, she should go here. And now this thing here that we've put here for show can go somewhere else. We'll do something with this later on. So this is it. We'll look about making that look a bit nicer down the track. Now for due today, I wanted to have clocks here. Yeah, I'm a bit heavy with my clocks, but I like it. So due today, so I want to repeat as many clocks as there are clocks due today. So how do I do this? First of all, I need to know how many clocks are due today. And the due today clocks are here. So I'm going to here due today, and I'm going to use the repeat function. Repeat, 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 repeat. And what do I want to repeat? They say text. I don't want text. I just want to repeat my clock. And how many times am I going to repeat it? Due today, this amount here. Let's see if it works. Oh, looks nice. 2 clocks. We said blue. We said blue. Okay, due today 2. Perfect. Now I want to do a repeat here for the tasks that are late. The rate of shame, repeat, actually, clock, repeat clock. And how many times? This amount of time. Okay. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to format paint here, and then I just have to change the font this way. Okay, so what happens when there's more than 7 clocks? Well, you're in trouble. I mean, obviously, you can put that as large as you like. So this is taking shape. We'll do the fine-tuning of formatting later on, but first I want to have a look at these top 3 here. I can hear you say, oh, 3 is not enough, I want 4, but that will have to do for the time being, but you can have 10 if you like. So there is a function called the filter function where you can just this is not required anymore. So I just want to do the filter function on the whole shebang here. Once again, on all this. Left to do, yes, because I want left to do. So you select all this. And what is the condition? The condition is the due date here is equal to today. Now, is this work? That's going to be a miracle. It does work. Okay. So here I could just put select this format painter and put it back here. But this is you need to make sure to have enough. Actually, I'm just going to take I don't only have the work here. Here, this has to be at the bottom because it could be bigger than this. If you run out of luck, you have too many tasks. So the reason why I'm doing this, and this is one of the tips I give also in my video, is that this allows you to have a filter here instead of putting it here directly, because you have several challenges with filter. It's dynamic. So one day you could have 10 tasks due and it's going to go all over the place here. And here I just want the top 3. I'm just going to make it very clear. Top 3 tasks due today. So this way I can just pick and choose whatever I want. And then how do I do this? I just go here and just take here. I just want to take the task. And here I just want to select the work left to do here, press enter. So, and then I drag that on 3 rows. So if you wanted the top 5, you would just drag why doesn't let me do this? Ah, that's because of this chart. Go away. All right, so that should work. Yeah, so if you wanted the top 5, you just can drag it to 5. Here you right click to get rid of these annoying zeros. And they always seem to come number here, custom. I'm just going to go here. Can be bothered looking for it. So I'm just going to put the symbol here. So that's it. Top 3 tasks due today, work left for each task. Due today. So here, there's one thing I want to do. I want to put a massive due today here, today's date here. So let's just merge everything. Let's just change the format so the Americans understand. I know it's not only America, but still. Okay, I'm just going to put that white. And then I'm going to do the trick I'm showing. I'm just going to put a new rule here. New rule, cell that contain. I'm going to put something that never happens here. Not containing, so I can format it with gradients. So once again, it's something I explained, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. If you've seen the other video, if you haven't seen it, you cannot just put gradient directly in a cell in Excel. So, but I found a workaround by using conditional formatting where you can. So right, okay, so I'm just going to select this. I'm going to go on the fill effect here. Select a color, go on a fill effect, and here I can put a conditional, but you need to make sure that the condition will never happen, which is quite easy to find. And here I'm just going to go for this. I'm just going to select this one and press OK, and that's what I was after. So that's it. I've done a bit of played a bit with this. So it's just a matter of adding I have decided to add the category. So as mentioned, when you click on the data label format data label, you can select. So I've decided to go with categories here instead. I think this, I'm just going to put the lighter blue, so it flows in a bit better with that. Here as mentioned, you can also have a count, but I think it's quite self-explanatory. If you really numbers, you can just add numbers here. But that's it. So for a very simple task list with reminders, so I also advise you to have a look at this other task list. It's also very simple and straightforward to do.